Okay, so here's how to fix that seam on your bag. I use I don't know what you might have. If you're a crafter, then maybe you have an iron like this. This is my it's crafting iron, and this is what I used to make all the bags with. It's all filed, sanded down so that it's mostly flat and all that kind of thing. Um, Easier to work with and it's more precise. But it doesn't matter because you're just sealing a little bit of the seam. And what you can use is just any old household iron, right? Here you go. It's just an iron, you know, any cheap iron will work as long as it gets hot enough, which I believe they all do. This one has its weird little ratings here on the bottom. I say start with nylon, whatever it says is nylon, which is pretty cool, and then work up from there. If you have some of that test fabric that I send out with most of the bags, then you can test it out a little bit with that. If not, you can just use it on the same spot over and over until it works. It doesn't hurt to redo it. You can just do it over and over at increasing temperatures until it melts the TPU, the coating, nicely. And because all you're doing is just remelting that, and it doesn't hurt it to remelt it in place and everything, as long as you're not like really pulling it apart and all that kind of thing. But anyway, this one I've already tested it out and it works at well, let's try it here with Cotton Blends at number 4 on my dial here. It's kind of in the middle. Needs to be around 300 or a little bit more degrees. And then we'll just test it here on the edge. Also, I can't tell if that bag has just 2 layers on that outer seam or if it has 3 layers. For the longest time, I was using 2 layers here and then sealing the outside edge like this with just 2 layers of this fabric. And then I switched to using this third white layer at the same time on the edge like this, so that I would get just one layer, one complete layer. If you have that, you just have to be more patient to let the heat, for another 5 seconds or whatever, to let the heat go through the 3 layers to melt the TPU on the bottom, on the third layer. If you rush it, you'll get the top 2 layers sealed well and the bottom one not as well. But I think that bag just has 2 layers on that edge. So it'll be just like this. We just take the iron, and I'm just going to put it on here for 5 seconds. And just check it. When I'm doing it, I usually move it really slow in a very precise pattern and everything to not let any bubbles get in. And you can try and do that, but just try and push it in a way that will keep any bubbles out. And let's see here. After you're done with it, then I always roll it out with a roller like this. You can use any other hard round thing, a cup or a metal bowl, or you can like slide the end of a flat smooth hammer across it or anything like that. Just lets it cool down while getting pressure on it. And you can see here the end is just barely, like, that is certainly not enough. That was just on the edge of being warm enough. So I'm gonna go from 4 to 5 here. Where is it? So you can see it. I'm gonna go to 5. Yeah, get crazy with it. And I'm gonna come back in a second once that's warmed up. Okay, I let it warm up for another minute or so at 5 on this iron. It only goes to 6. Yeah. So anyway, so we're gonna try it at 5, and just put it on the edge here. Let the heat sink in. And that's looking what it does is it turns the fabric dark as the two sides bond, just kind of like getting paper wet or something like that. And that's how you can kind of tell. You can also see parts where it let's see if you can see right here. You can, like right there, you can see it changed it to kind of a shiny. If it, that right there on your iron, it's going to get on your iron. And you may want to put another piece of fabric over weird edges or something. Yours are probably going to seal real nicely, so you're not going to have that, but it will get on your iron. You can scrape it off. As you can see, mine is covered with TPU residue and valve stem black residue and stuff. All right, so that's cooled now. I don't know if you can see that's darker. Let's see, it helps to have if you hold it up to the light, you can see really well that it's like, see how it's clear? Kind of, it's easier to see through where the edges were together. So now I'm gonna try and pull it apart just to test this for myself. But if you can, when you hold it up to the light, it should look lighter, like it's almost like it's wet looking on the seam. So I'm gonna yank on this, and yeah, so that's a good amount on the outside edge, but it's not. Let's see here. All right, so what this did was on the outside edge here. Where is it? There we go. On this edge here, it sealed fully, and I ripped the TPU off, so that's destroyed now. But that's a full as seal as you can get. On this edge here, if I yank on that real hard, like that's as hard as I can go, and that is not coming apart at all right there. Coming back here where I had all this, really good grip on the fabric to yank it apart, it did come apart, and it's not fully bonded in the middle. But down here at the edge here, at this point, it was fully sealed. So I'm gonna just do another spot over here and demo it. It may be that, the very tip of the iron wasn't as strong, it wasn't as hot. But so this is kind of how yours is going to go. You're going to just put it on here. If this is where your opening is, just line it up and put that on there. Let it heat up. Make sure it's heating up the whole area. When I'm doing it, I'm always going in a motion. Like there's a very smooth, long motion. It's very tedious. But this is what you do. You move it like that. That helps push any of the air bubbles out at the starting. And then it should be well sealed. So let's see, about that long. And I'm going to roll over it, let it cool off a little bit, let that TPU solidify. Oh, it's got pressure. All right, let it cool down to where I can touch it. I'm just going to tear this. All right, and then you don't have to test your seam too much, other than you can come on the inside of it. And what I do with all of my seams is I take my thumb like this, like that, and I try and shove it through. I hold it and I try and shove it through the seam like this and pull it along. And if I can't get it through, that's probably pretty good. You can also take the fat end of a screwdriver or something like this and try and shove it through it. And that'll, if you can't shove it through with the fat end, don't poke it and tear it. But with something sharp. But with the fat end of that, if it can't go through, then it's probably pretty good. And you're not going to shove that through just regular fabric with the fat end. But so here I can see that seam is, that's going to hold air. That's going to be a good seam right there. You can see it pulling, if the camera can show it, that's pulling the TPU part just a tiny bit. When I pull real hard, that's good. And if you hold it up to the light, when it's good, it looks like that. See the different, how it's lighter? That's what you're looking for. All right, so that seam right there, that'll hold. That'll be a good seam. And you can do it with your household iron. All right.